Hey there! Today we're going to talk about the psychology behind a habit I'm willing to bet you have, but maybe don't really think about listening to the same song over and over and over again.
Come on, you know what I'm talking about, right? There's that one track you just can't get out of your head. It's on when you're driving, when you're at the gym, maybe when you're just trying to get some work done. Your thumb just kind of automatically hits repeat. But have you ever actually stopped and wondered why? Why do we do that?
All right, so let's start with what most people think. The common assumption. If you ask around, most people would probably say that listening to the same song on loop means you're just kind of stuck, maybe in a musical rut or even an emotional one. And yeah, on the surface, it's really easy to just dismiss it as being stuck in a rut. But here's where it gets interesting. Psychology has a completely different take, a much more powerful one. It's not about being stuck. It's about actively and pretty brilliantly regulating your own emotions.
And this gets us right to the biggest mix-up about this whole thing, the huge difference between what looks like an obsession and what's actually a function.
It's so easy to look at that repetition and think, man, am I obsessed with this song? But the truth is way more practical. It's not some strange obsession, it's a tool. Seriously, think of it like a specific tool your brain picks up to create a feeling of stability and control in a world that's, well, pretty chaotic most of the time. So how in the world does a familiar song do all that? How does it create stability? Well, the answer is pretty cool, and it lies in the science of familiarity and just how our brains are wired. So the key idea has this fancy psychological name, emotional regulation via familiarity. But don't worry about the jargon. The idea itself is super simple. Our brains love predictable patterns. When you listen to a song you already know inside and out, your brain knows exactly what's coming next. Every single beat, every lyric, and that predictability, it's incredibly comforting. It creates this safe, controlled little world inside your head. So you see, what might look like a lazy habit is actually your brain being incredibly smart and efficient. It's using something it knows, that familiar song, to get a reliable result, a state of calm and control. It's not a glitch, it's a feature. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. What's actually happening inside your brain and your body when you hit that replay button? It's this amazing little chain reaction. First, your brain recognizes the pattern in the music. It knows what's coming. That sends a signal that everything is safe and predictable. And in response, your body literally starts producing less cortisol. Yep, the main stress hormone. And what's the result of all that? You can slip into that deep state of focus, that flow state, which is perfect for when you need to study or code or just block out all the noise. And this part is so crucial. It's not just about chasing a good feeling, like, oh, this song makes me happy. The mechanism underneath is way more profound. You're not just looking for a vibe. You are actively, physically managing your body's stress response. Okay, so this brings us to our last point. And honestly, it might be the most empowering one of all. This little habit of yours, it's actually a sign of a highly focused mind. I mean, think about it. We live in a world that is constantly screaming new at us. The new show, the new trend, the next thing to get that little dopamine hit. But a mind that deliberately chooses something familiar and repetitive is doing something else entirely. It's a mind that values depth and focus over that never-ending chase for novelty. So let's completely reframe this whole thing. Your repeat playlist isn't a weakness. It's a sign that you value depth over constant newness. It shows you've got the ability to focus intently. And when it comes right down to it, it proves you're using a pretty sophisticated, even if it's subconscious, tool for self-regulation. Ultimately, that song you have on loop is anything but random. It's a direct, honest signal of what your brain actually needs in that specific moment. Whether that's a little comfort, some intense concentration, or just a safe mental space to hang out in for a while. So the next time you find your finger hovering over that repeat button, just pause for a second. Ask yourself, what am I trying to manage right now? What is my brain asking for? Listen to the music for sure, but also listen to what it's telling you about you.